Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how you can pull a print of the Suminagashi ink. First, you want to make sure that you have that float paper somewhere towards the middle. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. So you'll need to scooch it over with your brush. Do not stick your fingers in the ink in the water because that will mess with the ink, all right? So what you can do from here is you can add the ink on top of the float paper. So I already have some ink from just practicing a couple other prints. I'm going to just squeeze this right on top, one little drop, and then you will see that ink spread out. So I'm going to add just a few colors. Just one drop at a time. And it has to be right on top of that float paper. Otherwise, what happens is the ink will just go straight to the bottom. We don't want that. So I already have some orange and some little bit of remnants of blue, but I'm going to add some more blue right on top. Okay, now that my ink is spreading across, the fun thing I can do now is I can swirl this ink. Please make sure you don't get the ink on your clothing. If it gets on your hands, that's okay, but just be careful. Clothing it will not wash out on. So what I'm going to do with my brush, I can kind of pull my brush in different ways and make the ink kind of spread around and start to swirl. So I'm going to get some really neat designs, and once I'm happy with how it looks, then I'm going to just lay my paper down. Make sure your name side is showing up here. You don't want to print on your name. And just rest your paper very gently, just kind of let it fall right onto the water surface. We don't want to dunk the paper in. And then you're going to carefully kind of pick it up by one corner, pull it up and off to the side. And then you'll see that you get this really awesome print. And you can see that's kind of closing over a little bit. So it turns out really, really neat. So you just have to be fast on pulling it up. And then you see the water can still be used for the next person. The next person can, they can decide if they want to swirl it around in a different way, but you can get a couple different prints, and then I'll be coming around with the ink again to add more ink to your float paper.